Jacob.
I'm Yuri.
We're going for a drive.
2020 Jaguar F-Type.
V6 Coupe Checkered Flag Edition.
Launch control.
Dynamic launch ready. That's pretty good, and it sounds amazing.
Did launch controls at the beginning just become our new gimmick?
Yeah, I think they did. Yes!
So much room for activities. Horsepower and torque.
380 horsepower, 339 pound-feet of torque from a 3-liter supercharged V6.
So there's a 4-cylinder, a 6-cylinder, and an 8-cylinder, so now we've driven them all.
There is one V8 that we haven't driven that was slightly slower than the SVR, but anyways.
And there are no manual transmissions anymore.
No, but I just want to give Jaguar a big shout out overall for using a 4-cylinder turbo, a V6 supercharged, a V8 supercharged, and they even have an electric drivetrain in the I-Pace. That is amazing.
That's pretty well-rounded.
Exactly. Like, there's not many manufacturers that actually have that kind of stuff.
But you know what? To me, like, this is the real Jaguar.
Yeah, the F-Type for
Any
sure.
F-Type is like the real Jaguar to me.
Especially the ones with the V8s, but this one's really good. Let's get into it.
So what does checkered flag mean? And is it actually called checkered flag?
It is called Checkered Flag. It is a limited edition, but it's not that limited. Apparently it celebrates their 70 years of sports cars. So we get a bunch of checkered flags on the outside. We got one on the front. We got one on the back. We have some on the inside, on the floor mats. We got them on the seats. We even have it on the steering wheel. Then we get a bunch of stuff like a gloss black roof, gloss black accents on the outside, extended door sills, and that's honestly pretty much it. No performance additions at all.
But it's got a checkered flag?
It does.
Sick.
Lots of checkered flags.
I don't know, it's cool.
Hey, if that's your thing, if you like checkered flags, if you like race flags, definitely get this one then. But I think you shouldn't get this one. I'm just gonna say it right off the bat. Just get the regular R Dynamic.
Okay, so what do you want to talk about first after that?
The crackles and pops, please, because they are amazing. So I'm gonna send it, and then exhaust sound, and crackles and pops. And tap, 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 crackles and pops. I absolutely love this.
But it's not as predictable.
It's not as predictable.
As the SVR.
That's right. But it still sounds amazing, and this is definitely one of my favorite V6s ever in terms of sound.
I think the Alfa Romeo Stelvio destroys this in sound.
Fair.
Just barely destroys it.
Yeah?
But I think the crackles and pops are amazing in this, better than the SVR because they're less predictable and you can't just do it on command as easily.
Exactly. So it is the tone and the frequency and all that predictability and stuff. So I think the tone, they absolutely nailed it. So people were wondering why we didn't like the tone of the Z4 crackles and pops. This is just better. This just sounds better overall.
It's like louder and snappier.
Exactly.
And when you start the car, it gives you exhaust crackles, even if you're not in dynamic or exhaust on. But if you're quick enough,
you press the exhaust button when you start it.
Yeah, you're like, okay, it hasn't popped yet.
Yeah, it's the best. And then we also have our dynamic mode, which I've pretty much exclusively lived in because this thing deserves to be driven in dynamic mode. So I'm gonna send it in cliche, in dynamic with the exhaust wide open. All right, here we go. And let's see how this handles through here. Honestly, it feels so rear-wheel drive, but this is the all-wheel drive one.
How did the traction hold up through Cliche Corner?
It holds up okay, but it does definitely kick in at the last moment, which isn't as good as like BMW's or Porsche's traction control systems.
But it's not as bad as the AMG, which will bog you all the way down.
That's
you can
right.
Stay in it.
Yeah, so overall, I think this handles incredibly well. Definitely one of my favorites. Pretty much on par with a Porsche, maybe a little bit worse, but I really like how rear-wheel drive the all-wheel drive one feels. And every time I get into one, I always have to think, I'm like, is this the rear-wheel drive one? Nah, and I try to do a burnout and it doesn't work.
But how about the look of the exhaust pipe?
The look is great. We got the center pipes.
In the 4-cylinder, I think we had something HDMI-ish, and then in the 8-cylinder SVR, we had like double doubles.
Yeah, the double doubles are good too. Jaguar makes really solid exhaust tips overall. Jaguar.
Jaguar. Jaguar. Punch it, punch it, punch it.
Downshift and go.
Ah.
Nailed it. So it's got the ZF 8-speed, which we absolutely love in every car. And here, once again, because we got those crazy chainsaw upshifts.
That's so close to Alfa Romeo Stelvio territory.
Because same transmission.
So close.
So overall, this engine feels amazing. It pulls really hard. You pretty much can't even tell that it's supercharged. There's no lag whatsoever. Love this drivetrain so much.
But it's not as fast as it feels.
No, it's not. So 0 to 100 kilometers per hour is 5.1 seconds for the all-wheel drive one. And when I looked up the stats, The rear-wheel drive one is faster. 4.9.
Less weight?
I guess. A little weird, but it usually doesn't happen.
Had good grip that day.
Yeah.
So manually shifting, we've got up for down for up on the shifter the way it should be, and the paddles feel great. The shift light is friggin' amazing.
Yeah, the one in the center?
So what happens is in manual mode, it'll show you the gear in the middle, and when it's time to upshift, it turns white, and it's such a big contrast. Your eyes will pick that up in the peripheral. No problemo, amigo.
And it shifts fast enough that you never miss a shift anyways. It's so good.
And it's loud enough that you'll know when it's time to shift as well, unlike a lot of BMWs.
Yeah, this exhaust, I'm just gonna talk about it really quickly again, has the perfect amount of rasp for a V6.
Even more perfect than my Plymouth Prowler.
I'm sorry to say it, but yes.
I don't know, my Plymouth Prowler sounds pretty good.
It does for what it is, but...
Intrepid life.
Are you gonna keep talking about it until people get sick of hearing about the Prowler?
I'm gonna bring it up subtly for the rest of the channel.
Just like I did with the Raptor. Shout out Raptor. And let's talk about the suspension. We do have adaptive suspension, and I find comfort to be a little bit better, but overall this isn't stiff and I love it. There's pretty much no body roll. This handles incredibly well. Like I said earlier, I absolutely love how this drives. Now let's get you into the driver's seat so we can talk about the looks of this.
And the infotainment.
Yeah, and this interior.
And the interior.
There's a lot to talk about.
I want to start it off with the technique you taught me.
What did I teach you?
Index finger, pinky.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Dynamic and exhaust.
That's how you start this car.
So I want to start with the interior because we all know what an F-Type looks like.
It is pretty much identical to every other F-Type that we've driven.
Except more red stitching. We got a red line on the steering wheel, some checkered flags on the seats.
And we have this really nice matte aluminum. It looks great.
So we've got the vent that pops up. We've got this cool little grab handle. The seats are very thin, but very supportive. They're very stiff.
Yeah, exactly.
But I like them. We got good lumbar support and everything.
Do you think that this interior is starting to get dated because the F-Type has been out for a little while?
Yeah, but it's still really good.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it does kind of look dated, but it's great still.
They just need to refresh it, just add a couple more curves or something, but all the same things. You know what I mean? Like they refresh bumpers.
Exactly.
And again, I love the gauges. They're analog on the sides, super simple. Then we've got the big shift light we need in the middle. Everything makes perfect sense.
I think the gauges are what probably ages it the most. Something to do with the font or something. I do like the gauges. I just think age-wise.
Why are we screwing up a good thing?
I know.
Porsche? Let's put the tack in the middle.
Exactly.
You know what else has a tack in the middle?
Everything that's good.
Plymouth Prowler. Well, autometer tack in the middle.
I can't take that back. Everything else that's good also has a red stripe at the top.
Okay.
Shout out Raptor.
Let's get into the infotainment now. So unlike the other ones, this has Android Auto and Apple CarPlay.
And it works flawlessly.
Watch our new updated Android Auto versus Apple CarPlay video. Link right, is it here or
It's
there?
over there, yeah.
Right here, okay.
Yeah. Oh, and also, because this is a Jaguar, and most Jaguars and Land Rovers now have the updated Android Auto that goes widescreen, but it's still not fully actual widescreen.
So you plug them both in, they both work, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which is perfect, but Apple CarPlay will go all the way across for my Google Maps.
Yeah, and mine doesn't.
And the satellite radio rewinds 6 stations, everything's super easy to use. And we don't have a 360 camera, but we have a reverse camera and the parking sensors are very easy to use.
And it is very high res as well. Then we have a bunch of knobs down here. We have heated and cooled seats. We got buttons for a lot of things.
I love knobs for climate control that have multi-functions. Like this temperature, you click it in and then you go to your seat air.
Yeah, but these ones feel really good and they don't feel flimsy like some of the buttons did in the I-Pace, which is a little weird.
And then a trick for all you people out there, if you go to your climate settings and turn off the air at the top, that will move the top thing up and down on its own.
Yeah, because the vent actually moves.
And then we've got a sunroof that does not open, but we've got a hand shade, which I think is fair for this. I really love the look from above.
I agree.
With the all black roof on white.
One thing that's missing, and it's been missing from every other F-Type, is there's no tuning knob. We do have a volume knob.
Yeah, it's a pain. You got to set it and forget it, but a lot of other people are doing it right, so just buy their cars instead.
No,
right?
Definitely buy this. It's so sick.
But you know what this also doesn't have?
What's that?
Visor test.
Oh, yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Yeah. No visors.
And it'll fit a small cup just fine. We've got those really cushiony cup holders that really grab on choich.
Like a Toyger.
Choich like a Toyger. And let's move on to our trunk space.
With the box test. 1, 2, 3. But those aren't going to fit. So that's actually 2. Get your own box on patreon.com/TheStraightPipes.
2 boxes, but thanks to all our other patrons. But there is a surprising amount of room back there.
There is, actually.
And it is a hatchback, which is super cool. And then we got a little spoiler in there.
Yes, we do. So you can't actually press the spoiler button for it to do anything. I think it only activates in cleaning mode, but if you go over about 100 kilometers an hour, then it self-activates.
And I think with all the interior out of the way, solid interior by the way.
I agree.
Looks
stunning still.
So we've got a lot less weird body kit stuff than the V8 SVR that we drove.
Yes, but we also have some additional stuff because this is the checkered flag, so we have like additional side sills that are a little bit wider.
Yeah, I think this is the perfect amount of body kit to add to an F-Type. I think they look best with nothing on it, 4-cylinder base, because I think it's such a, dare I say, sexy design.
I think I called this sexy in one of our earlier videos, and I'm standing by that.
Yeah, this is definitely sexy.
I've actually had women look at this car probably more than most other cars that we've driven. A lot of guys also check this out, but women don't particularly seem to check out a lot, of cars that we tend to drive.
Yeah, so it's surprising when they do.
Yeah, exactly. So if you're looking to pick up a Tinder date, maybe you should get an F-Type.
Or rent one.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's start with the front end.
Front end's still great.
Same as the other ones.
The headlights are still great, razor sharp, love them.
We got a little bit of a lip kit at the bottom, which is cool. And then we've got a little bit of a lip kit on the sides, which is nice. But I did kind of hit my ankle against it. Like I wasn't prepared for it, but that's fine. That's on me.
Side profile still looks great, and I do like the wheels on the checkered flag edition.
What are the Continental recommended tires for it?
The Extreme Contact Sport. That sounds so good.
The rear 3/4, I know I say it a lot, but it is a very good angle. Probably one of my favorites. Sorry, people emphasize that angle a lot.
It is a really good angle on this car.
Yes, we read the comments. We know what you guys are saying. By the way, none of us are sad. Sometimes we're just hungry.
And it's also really hot sometimes.
Yeah, trust me, we're not sad.
Yeah, no, we're very happy.
We're in our happy zone. He's got his jet ski Raptor. I got my Prowler.
Yeah, by the way, I did get a jet ski, and I love it.
This is not flexing on people. We're just explaining to the people who leave a lot of comments.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, I thought about it. I spent the same amount on my Raptor and my jet ski as I did my former Lexus ISF, and also when I sold that, your current Prowler.
Yeah. So would you rather have a Raptor and a jet ski or just a Prowler?
Or just Lexus ISF? I think I'm happy with my decision. You?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, there you go.
And back to the rear end.
Yeah, those exhaust tips are just lovely. I love that center exhaust tip.
I like the look more without a spoiler compared to the SVR spoiler.
It's definitely a cleaner look.
So I guess with all that out of the way, price?
Yeah, so this starts at $105,000, but this one is optioned out to $112,200.
I guess if it's kind of competing with Porsches,
it is.
It makes sense, and it is fast, it is fun, but there's no manual.
Yeah, but I think the worst part of this particular one is, like I said in the beginning of the video, is that I think you should get the cheaper regular V6 or spend around $3,000 more to get the V8.
It's only $3,000 more
than this one as it's currently spec'd for the base of the R, which is the 5-liter, 550 horsepower supercharged one.
Yeah, you should probably get that.
That's what I'm saying. The only problem with this car is this particular price compared to the 5-liter supercharged V8.
I think overall the way I see this car is they did everything right. All the modes work exactly as you expect, like dynamic is faster, snow is slower, comfort is comfort. The exhaust turning on and off is super easy. Say you're driving and it's not shifting fast enough, hit the shifter to the left, it goes to sport shifting. The paddles are easy to use, you know when to shift.
And the steering wheel doesn't fly off, you know exactly what it's gonna do, it feels great.
Everything about this, I think they just hit a sweet spot. You know what I mean?
They absolutely did.
The F-Type is the sweet spot.
It's kind of like the 911 GTS, where it's always the sweet spot for the GTS.
And even like rewinding satellite radios, you plug in your phone, it works right away. It's got a lot going for it.
It definitely does.
So quickly, let's brainstorm other competitors. So
Porsche 911.
Yeah.
Porsche Cayman.
The new Corvette.
Yeah.
The old Corvette. Kind of?
Kind of, I think so, for price for sure.
What else is a two-seater with a big motor in the front?
Kind of the new Z4. The Supra?
Supra?
Yeah.
Well, I guess, would you take this over what you've seen from Supra videos? Not that we have a chance to drive one yet.
Not yet. I'm not really sure. I think the sound of this one is going to beat out the Supra for sure, but the performance of the Supra might beat this one out, but I think I might take the sound of this one, so I'm not really sure.
So I guess let us know what you would take over an F-Type V6 if you would take anything over it at all.
I think this is the sweet spot in the lineup, but definitely don't get the checkered flag edition if you don't care about the checkered flags. Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell.
Patreon.com/TheStraightPipes and go to Teespring for cool shirts and stuff.
And join our YouTube membership while you're at it too.
Now we can go get food because we're not sad. We're just hungry and hot.
Burritos!
I'm Yuri.
I'm Jacob.
And we're going for a drive.